Hey there guys and gals, welcome back to Back Pocket Game Reviews, and today we're going to talk about your favorite topic, GameStop. Good old Stop of Games has announced a brand new CEO today, well yesterday, but brand new CEO, and his name is George Sherman. Pretty sure it's George Sherman, let me double check that. Yep, George Sherman. So Mr. Sherman is, well, like the fourth CEO in about 1 year. You don't remember the beginning of last year, they had a CEO named Reigns, and he actually passed away due to a brain tumor, which is a pretty terrible way to go. Then they had another guy who took over right after him and was apparently trained and prepped by Reigns, and well, he only lasted about a month or 2 months, somewhere right in between those markers. Then they gave it over to another individual who used to be CEO and ran GameStop for a very long period of time and did so very successfully. However, during his time there, he obviously just was looking to just fill the position until they found someone else to take over, because not a lot of changes came to GameStop during this time period. And as we all know, right now, GameStop stock is doing immensely poorly. And it's just kind of been an ongoing trend for GameStop over the last 2 or 3 years for their stocks just nose their way down. And a lot of that has to do with a lot of different things, from failing market shares and literally just depleting your share of your industry completely and not really doing much while you were on top to try to prolong and fix those issues before they became issues. And I get it, sometimes when you're on top, it's really hard to see ahead of yourself to make those changes. I get that, I fully do. But a good company usually plans for the future, not for the short term. And unfortunately, GameStop never started looking to the future. They only ever looked to the short term. And I think it's got to be really hard to want to take over as a GameStop CEO, especially right now. And there is more than just the CEO news, so hang on, we're getting there. There is almost, you're taking over a company that almost looks like Blockbuster towards the end, where it's like all these red flags of, hey, these things are taking our market share and we've done nothing to combat it. Nothing. No real move forward to how are we going to tackle this outside of offering digital games sold in store, which shockingly, news came of that yesterday too. GameStop will no longer be able to sell PlayStation game download codes in store. Actually, that's not just a GameStop thing, that is a Best Buy thing. Sony is stopping that. Sony is pulling all PSN code support for games from stores, which is a really weird move and almost kind of shows that Sony really doesn't care about the longevity of GameStop. But if I were Sony, I don't necessarily think I would really care about what happens to GameStop either at this point. It should be kind of like a symbiotic relationship, but outside of hardware and peripherals, there's not really much else that GameStop does for them at this point. They're not the largest seller of video games in the world anymore. They are the largest company that only sells video games in the world. Like, that is their bread and butter. Retail-wise, let me make sure I am extremely clear on that, because Steam still dwarfs GameStop sales every year. Now, here's the fun part. We're apparently going to be entering the time of a rebrand called GameStop 2.0. Who the hell named that? Like, who went into that? Like, we're gonna call this GameStop 2.0. And the goal of this is to shift GameStop away from just being a games retailer and to a cultural phenomenon. Their words, not mine. And I get it, you've probably seen a little bit of an idea of what this direction would be in the GameStop pop culture stores, which come off kind of cool, but it's mostly all collectibles and stuff like that, so nothing too far away from what they're currently doing. So I'm sure there's got to be more to this, and they don't really give too much of an in-depth rundown on what that entails. However, they do say they will be bringing more rewards cards. More rewards cards. So we're going to have not just the one power-up rewards card, but there are now going to be more rewards cards that are paid for services. Paid for subscription services. I'm just kind of interested to what that's going to be. Like, I imagine, because we talked about GameStop selling comics, are you guys now going to do comic subscription boxes on what, like, where are we going? What direction are you planning to go for to try to clog the holes that are ruptured all over the front end of your ship? 'Cause you got a lot of them, and I get it. You might have to go in multiple directions to try to stop the hemorrhaging. But I just really don't know if it's possible, and I don't necessarily know if more rewards cards? Well, let me see if I can find the quote here for you. In a statement, this isn't part of that. We're gonna read through some of the article. In a statement, Sherman acknowledged GameStop will have to undergo some major changes to stay relevant in a market that has increasingly gone digital. I bring significant experience working with other retailers that have undergone large, successful transformations, he said, suggesting that he expects similar changes at GameStop. And that's not a bad thing, because this dude did work for Best Buy and several other, it was Advanced Auto Parts, Best Buy, Home Depot, and Target. So, I mean, he does have a lot of retail experience. But then it goes on, GameStop 2.0, the plan that will shift the company from a retailer to a cultural experience. The company reportedly plans to focus on membership programs that encourage trade-ins and purchases of pre-owned games. Focus on that. So I think that's a very odd idea to double down on places of your market that are shrinking. You are losing ground to digital sales. I get it. You want to get more in. How do you get more in? Have you tarnished your particular image in the customer's eye just so much that you might not be able to bring them back in? That's also another concern that you have to have. Eventually, people just get sick of the bullshit and stop shopping with you. That happens. Happens a lot. I mean, I think there are no shortage of people that have complained or made videos or talked about some of GameStop's terrible practices or had terrible things that they've been able to show off while they worked there. It's just, I don't know. I think being more consumer fronted, like being more focused on the consumer, would probably get you a lot more people than being more membership focused. So I guess GameStop's about to become like the Sam's Club or Costco of games. $60 a year to shop here now. Price of one game. And that might, we honestly don't know what direction this is going to go in. Obviously we heard reports that they're going to be bringing back the rental program, so maybe that's even a part of what they're talking about. No one really knows yet. But for this dude's sake, I really hope he can kind of turn things around, and I really cannot imagine, I wouldn't want to take on that kind of stress. Like, I'm already a very anxious person, and I don't handle stress well. I don't handle stress even moderately well. I don't think I'd want to do his job. I think I could rebrand GameStop, but I wouldn't want to work for them while doing it. I know that sounds really weird and doesn't make a lot of sense, but no thank you. Guys, I'm curious to what you think about this. Let me know in the comments down below. And in case you're not aware, apparently the only way to fix how I currently am in the algorithm is by you interacting with the video. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment, which if I read, you'll see a little heart appear on it. That usually means I have nothing to say back to the comment. If I have something to respond to it with, then I'll, you know, chit-chat, kitty cat down in the comment section. Also, if you're new here, don't forget to click the subscribe button, and don't forget to show your friends how manly of a man you are. Maybe you can have issues growing in a nice full beard. I hear if you ding my notification bell, you're gonna be able to grow a nice beard, even if you're a lady. Also, if you want to find any of my links, they're in the description box, just like right down there. And guys, I'll see you all soon with plenty more content coming for you, so stick around.